Welcome back to News 3 today at 11. The Flannery O'Connor Childhood Home is celebrating this weekend. The museum is hosting events in honor of what would have been the Georgia author's 100th birthday. Even though O'Connor died back in 1964, her legacy lives on through her writing and the people it has inspired. Local historian and tour guide extraordinaire, among other things, Enocha Edenfield is here to talk about some of the familiar names who call and claim the influencer and claim her as an influence in their work in this month's installment of Historic Happening. Thank you so much for being here today. It's been a long time.
It's been a couple of months.
Yeah, it's been a while because, you know, Black History Month, St. Patrick's Day, all of that stuff going on. Christmas. But now, this big event, this is the next biggest event that is happening, and that's paying tribute to Flannery O'Connor as we mark her 100th birthday here in the city of Savannah. Savannah and Milledgeville, two important cities in her life.
Absolutely. So we get a lot of people to Savannah who have heard of our literary influences like Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. And a lot of people are pleasantly surprised to find out that Flannery O'Connor called Savannah home for the first 13 years of her life. She lived in a tiny little home off of Lafayette Square, which is now a house museum that you can tour. And I think it's kind of a unique house museum because unlike a lot of the other house museums, which are like super rich people lived here, it's a little slice of middle class life in the 1920s and 30s. And in this home, you get to see like the foundation of what would later turn her into Flannery O'Connor, the Southern Gothic / grotesque writer.
And you mentioned that she would have hated to be called that.
She did not like to be called Southern Gothic. She preferred Southern grotesque.
Okay. And why is that? What's the difference?
It's just a verbiage thing for her. She was a very particular person, which if you visit the museum, you can see for yourself. But she was a very quirky individual. And her work, she presents a world that we know, that we understand, usually set in the South. But then she kind of twists things just a little bit to make us re-examine parts of our culture and parts of our lives.
I would say that she's a social advocate, so to speak, right? So she died at a very young age, at 39, after losing her battle with lupus, but she managed to accomplish so much during that short time.
She did. She published 2 books during her life, 2 collections of short stories and a full novel. No, sorry, no. 2 novels, 1 collection of short stories, and posthumously, right after her death, another collection of short stories was published. And so many people have read her works. They might not recognize her name, but they've read her works in school, and her works have gone on to inspire a lot of people.
Yeah, and so let's talk about some of those folks, okay? Some big names and some not so well-known names as well.
The Coen brothers, who directed, you know, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, and Fargo, claim her as one of their influences. Let's see, what was
Raising Arizona.
Raising Arizona is a very direct influence of her work. She also influenced Quentin Tarantino. He cites her.
And how does that happen? I mean, you think Tarantino, you don't think Flannery O'Connor.
But again, at the same time, he does kind of present us with a lot of his works as a world that we know, but then he also kind of twists things a little bit.
Okay.
So I can see the influence there with him as well. Maybe not as direct as with the Coen brothers, but
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke.
Daughter.
Ethan Hawke directed a movie about Flannery O'Connor recently, starring his daughter Maya Hawke, who plays Flannery O'Connor. And the movie follows her journey publishing her first book.
And we're not just talking about film, we're talking about songs as well.
Yes. There is an entire book called Flannery at the Grammys that examines how many musical artists have been influenced by her. People like Tom Waits, The Boss, and PJ Harvey. PJ Harvey cites some of her lines in her songs.
Wow. So this weekend, big deal.
Yes.
So many activities going on, all at the Flannery childhood home, and also in Milledgeville, but let's talk about the local stuff here in Savannah.
Right, so they have been working so hard on this. It's the big centennial birthday. This Friday they're doing a mixer, which they're doing in partnership with the Davenport House. Saturday they're going to be doing special tours in the house and around the house. And on Sunday is the big celebration. That's the big fair and author signing. There's going to be, I think, like 40 different authors in Lafayette Square signing books. There's going to be live music. There's a costume contest.
The parade.
There's so many things. The parade. The parade's a lot of fun.
Yes.
And if people at home have never been to this, or maybe don't even know who Flannery O'Connor is, it's still worth checking out. It's so much fun.
So much fun. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Here's some more information on how you can find out about the celebration and where you can go. Contact us at wsav.com/Flannery100. Enocha, how can people find you?
They can find me on my website, EnochaEdenfield.com, and they can also find all my socials linked there too.
She's everywhere. You want to say a shout out to your sisters in the studio right
Yes, my
now?
baby sibling May is here.
Thank you so much. We'll see you next month. Stay with us. We'll be right back.